Hey, welcome back. What brings you in today? Sega Genesis isn't working? No problem, I can actually take a look for you and test it out. Are you going to be shopping today as well? Just a trade-in? Perfect timing. We actually do need some more inventory, so that sounds great. So why don't I take a look at the console? Did you bring in any games? Perfect. And then what about controllers? You just have one. Okay. And then what about a power cord? Okay. And a V cord. Perfect. Alright, so then I can take everything for you. Oftentimes it could be a controller issue. And then you can set the other two cords right there. I have a TV, and I will just plug it in and see what's going on. So let me first take a look, and this looks like it's the Model 2. I always can't believe how light these feel. Alright, Sega Genesis, Model MK1631. Okay, if you need help, 1-800-USA Sega. Okay. So this does look a little older, but definitely not in the worst condition I've ever seen. So the first thing I'm going to do is just dust it. It does look pretty dusty. There's a lot of fingerprints as well. So let me see if I can just get some of those off. And so have you used a Sega Genesis before? Okay, so you think when you were much younger. Okay, it's pretty simple to operate. But if one of the power cords is not working, or it could be old, then obviously it might not turn on, so that could be the issue. Let's see, I'm going to dust the front here. And yeah, you said you got it at a yard sale, so it looks like it's probably just sitting in somebody's house for a long time. But let's see, power looks good. Here, reset looks good. The cartridge, input looks good. And then obviously the slots for controllers looks good. And then on the back I see the AV out, and then the power slots, so those look good. Just look at the bottom. It does look like there's some sticky substance right there, so I can get something in a little bit to clean that. Yeah, this looks like it's in pretty good condition. And were you looking to keep this or sell it? You're keeping this. Okay. Did you bring in any other consoles? A Dreamcast as well. Perfect. Okay. And are you selling that one? Yes. Okay. Now I do have a Genesis instruction manual. Like I said, I was looking through it earlier, but I don't think we should need it. Just want to double check because I have not actually tested one for quite a while in the shop. Okay, so I know we need power cord. We have our TV. Converter. Just see. Stereo sound. Audio input checks. To make sure we're on the right channel. Okay. Yeah, there actually is a troubleshooting chart in the back here. which might be of some use in the future for you. Let me show you. So it shows some different issues that you might encounter. No picture on the screen, screen flickers or no color, no game sound, picture is unsteady, no power light. So I actually might just give this to you to take home. I think I do have a few extras, so you can just have that. And hopefully we won't have to use it. So I'm just going to bring the TV over and then we'll test out the Genesis. Alright, so first I'll be plugging in the adapter right on the back. And then the AV goes right next to it. And that one's kind of tricky to get in, but there's a little arrow on the top. So just make sure you see the arrow on the top and then you can push it in. And here we are with the controller. So it looks pretty good, as you can see. Not in that bad of a condition. But we will test it out and just make sure. And obviously not too many buttons on the Genesis controller either, so pretty simple. And let's get a game. So I will just grab from your trade-in pile if you don't mind, since we have them here. So we'll just do a classic. Alright, so I just hit the power button, and here we go. Now let's see how terrible I am. Well, I'm also playing sideways too, so I can really not see what I'm doing. But as you can see, it is working properly. And actually, it's funny because as I'm playing right now, I feel like it's making me extremely dizzy. So I don't think I'll be playing this again anytime soon, but I'm very glad it's working. And it looks like the power cord was probably just the issue. So let's turn this off and look at the rest of your items. Alright, so I'm very happy the Genesis is working. So I'm going to go through now and look at your trade-ins if you don't mind. I guess we'll start with this. So this is a Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog. It looks like it's in good condition. And I already know the game works since we tested it. And I am happy to see it's also complete with the instruction manual, which does add some value. So I can give you $20 for this game. And I'll just go through and tell you how much I can give you. Then we can add it up at the end and see if you're interested. Okay? These boxes are so noisy, so I'm just going to set them like this. Okay. So what's next? So this is Mortal Kombat for Sega Genesis. So let's see the back. And I did forget to mention that since you're a returning customer, I will be giving you close to full price to what these games are worth today, which is much better than our competitor chain stores. And so I do hope you will continue to come back to us. So this looks like. It also has the manual. Let's see. Okay, perfect. I see you have some codes in here. Do you want those? Okay, I'll just give that to you. Perfect. And then the game looks like it's in good condition. So, perfect. I can give you $20 for this as well. Next is Flashback, The Quest for Identity. I think this one is actually worth about $20 as well. And if I recall correctly, I think they actually just remade this. Or just remastered it, I mean. I don't know if it was for Switch or something else, but I do remember seeing something about it. And I think it's like a sci-fi game. I actually never played it myself. But I do see we have the game in here. And then this manual, which has some nice artwork on the cover. And what is this? Some kind of poster. Okay, yeah, I guess it comes with some kind of Sega poster. I see a Ninja Turtle on the back. Let's open it up and see what it is. Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. That's what it's for. So this is cool. I actually like things like this for the game store. So will you be trading this in with it? Okay, perfect. And it also looks like we have this, which is so funny. Just a little advertisement of a number to call if you can't beat the game. So it says Stumped. Call US Gold Tips and Information Game Line. 85 cents per minute charge if you're under 18. Get your parents' permission. So funny. I love it. Alright, so yeah, I'll give you $25 for this game. Next up is Rocket Knight Adventures. And I'm pretty sure this is actually worth a good amount right now. So let me check on my computer. Yeah, so it looks like about $60. So I can give you about $55. And again, I see the game and the instruction manual. It looks like it's in good condition. And are these games you also found at the yard sale? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I played this maybe once, but I think it's kind of before my time. I didn't play much Sega, but I know this is a more popular game, so happy to take it off your hands. Alright, so yeah, $55 for this one. Next we have Subterranea, which I've actually never even heard of. Aliens have invaded a vital subterranean mining colony. Fly a prototype fighter through impossible caverns to rescue miners and blast the aliens into the darkest pit of space. Sounds kind of cool. Again, we have the game and the manual. And then this is just a promotion. What is this for? Get Sega Visions 6 months free and learn to win. So that looks like it was a Sega magazine maybe. So I don't think this game is worth too much, but I can give you $10. Okay, good. Okay, and then the last Genesis game, Asterix and the Great Rescue. I don't think I've ever played this either. Master 50 zones of mazes, puzzles, and comical military might. Okay, very interesting. So I may have to look up how much this one's worth. So I see the game, the instruction manual, this promotion again, and then what is this? This looks like it's actually a Sonic poster. Did you know that was in here? Let's see what it's advertising. So it looks like it's actually advertising Sega Game Gear and a few other cool things. Alright, so now on to the Dreamcast, and this is so much heavier than the Genesis. Okay, you said you are trading this in. Okay. So it does look pretty nice. Okay. Looks like it maybe has just been sitting as well. A little dusty. Let me dust. And do you know if it's working? Okay. So I'm probably not going to test it out right now, but I will test it later on. And then if there's any issues, I'll let you know. But I do trust you since you're a returning customer several times. Okay. And then I see you have a few games that you don't want. Okay. And do you have the VMU with you as well for the controller? Okay. And are you familiar with that? Okay, yeah, I can tell you about it. Okay, so yeah, this looks very nice. Just open it up. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Perfect. And I always felt like this kind of looks like a spaceship. This looks like it's also in nice condition, a little bit used, but that's to be expected. Just test all the buttons. Sticking a little bit, but that's okay. Probably hasn't been used in quite a while. This sounds really nice. D-pad. It's absolutely fine. Alright, so this is the VMU, the virtual memory unit. So here it is. And it stored data, but it also had some animations that would come on for some of the Dreamcast games. And you could even play some mini games on here as well. So just kind of a funny feature for the Dreamcast. So because you have that, it definitely adds some value. And I'll just wipe this down, but it's pretty nice. And what made you want to trade all this in? Yeah, it's so interesting. Some people really do care about collecting, and some people just don't, and that's fine. We're always looking for new things to be traded in, like I said, so we appreciate it. Alright, so now the games. We have Sonic Adventure. This is a great game. So buckle up, and we're talking a 5-point harness. Sonic the Hedgehog will propel your Dreamcast into the Warp Speed 3D adventure. Yeah, this is a really good game. And let's see what the disc looks like. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Nice and clean. And I can give you about $40 for this, especially since it comes with the manual again, so that's a great trade-in. Resident Evil Code Veronica. I do see there's some sticker residue, but I can get that off. Everything You Feared After Narrowly Surviving the Horrific Onslaught in Raccoon City. Claire Redfield now seeks clues in search of her missing brother, Chris. The Umbrella Corporation Memo Read. Confidential Phase 1. Raccoon City Test Complete. Phase 2. Paris Facility fully operational. I wonder what that means. Okay, so we have the disc here. And actually, I think there's 2 discs. Let's see the discs. This one's good. The second one. Good. And I can actually give you, let's see, probably $30 for this. Okay, then House of the Dead 2. Another good game. See, it has the manual. Let's see. Disc. Very nice. Can give you 30 for this as well. Yeah, these games are worth a little bit more. And then Frogger 2, Swampy's Revenge. Actually, I remember playing Frogger a lot growing up. So we have the manual. Let's see. Looks nice. Okay. Yeah, I can give you $20 for this. Perfect. So let me just use my computer here to add up. So 20, 20, 60 for Rocket Knight, then 10, 25, 10, and then we'll do 30, 40, 30, 20. Alright, so how about with the Dreamcast, of course, $350 total? Perfect. And would you like cash or store credit? Store credit? Okay, great. Well, I can get that in the system for you. So you will not have to worry about giving me any cash or anything. You are good to go. And did you need anything else while you're here? Well, it was so nice talking to you today, and I really appreciate all of this inventory that you gave us. So thank you again. And be on the lookout for an email from us soon. I know you're on our mailing list. We will have a big holiday sale coming up. So I hope to see you then. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon. Welcome to the game shop. Are you here for a trade-in? Perfect. We've been needing some new inventory, so I'm excited. Have you been here before? Okay. Are you looking for store credit or cash? Cash, alright. Just so you know, if you do choose to do store credit, I can usually give a little bit more, but either way is fine. And what did you bring in? Variety of stuff. Okay, perfect. And let's see, I'm just going to bring up my system here. So let me tell you how it works. I'm going to look through the condition of everything you've brought in and just make sure we can accept it. I'll also look at the current prices to see what everything is selling for and then determine what I can pay you. And what is your first and last name? Okay, and your email? Okay, so I found you here, I found your account, and like I said, if you choose to do store credit, I can do that for you. Alright, so I will start looking through the items. You can actually just set them right here for me. And you can either browse the store or stay, it's up to you. You want to stay? No problem. So why don't we begin? Alright, so the first thing I'm seeing is your loose Pokemon Fire Red. And this is actually in pristine condition. And you don't have the box, I'm assuming. I know. I wish I would have kept mine as well. It definitely brings the value up. Although I will say I know this is still worth a pretty good amount, so let me check. Yep, so right now currently this is going for about $100 loose, which is crazy. So that being said, I can give you about $85. And what I'm going to do is just make a spreadsheet here so we can keep track of the prices. But yeah, I'm glad to have this. This was a really good Game Boy Advance game. And great for our store. Pokemon Pinball. And you don't have the cover for this, do you? Okay, that's okay. I'll still accept it. Does look like it has some scratches, but nothing too crazy. And this was for Game Boy Color, so always looking for more Game Boy Color games. You'd be surprised to know that they are actually top sellers in our store. So I can give you 15. Perfect. Let's see what's next. So we have a SNES game. So this is for sure one of our top sellers in the store. Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. So just taking a look. Looks like it's in really good condition. And no scratches. Looks very clean inside. I know this is valuable, so let's just double check. Mario RPG. Yeah, so I'll actually be able to give you about $80 for this. Okay. And if you decide to change your mind at any point, just let me know. You never know, some of these could have their value increase over the coming years, so I know even for me it's hard to decide if I want to keep games or sell them, so just let me know. And then I just see one N64 game, and yeah, this is a good one for our store as well. Majora's Mask. And I'm a big sound a fan. And I love this holographic cover. And just the gold cartridge in general is really nice. So it looks super clean. And let's check the back, the bottom. It looks good. This is going for, let's see. So I can give you $50 for Majora's Mask. Okay, so I will set this aside. Let's see, I see you have a few Xbox games. So let's price them out first. Alright, so Jedi Fallen Order is a newer game. I don't think I'll be able to give you too much. Disc is here, insert is here, and this is a great game. Did you play it? Yeah, I am excited for the next one as well. So let's see, Jedi Fallen Order. Okay, so I can give you 5 for this. And then Dead Space, a classic. You have the manual and the disc. Perfect. Looks good. And yeah, this is actually one of my favorite games. And of course the remastered version is amazing. But we do sell these Xbox 360 versions pretty often, so let's see. Dead Space. And looks like $5 for this as well. Unfortunately, some games we can't give as much for. It all depends on their value. Skyrim, another good classic game. I love this one because I honestly feel like you could play 100 times and still find new things to do. So the disc, the manual, good condition, and yeah, everything looks good. It's probably $5 as well. Skyrim. Yep, $5. So I will set these aside. And I've actually never played Oblivion. It's been on my list for years at this point, so I'm hoping I can eventually get to it. Did you ever play that? Yeah. Well, I've heard good things, even though the NPCs do look a little crazy. It's just something I'd like to experience. So 2 Switch games. Ori and the Blind Forest. Another really good game. And why are you keeping this one? Alright, no problem. And let's see, this comes with, what are these? Just little cards, I think. And they're still sealed, which is nice. And then just a code for the soundtrack. Okay. I do miss having manuals. Unfortunately, they're not in the Switch cases, but yeah, this looks good. Good game, challenging. So, Ori and the Blind Forest. $10 for this. And then I see Breath of the Wild is sealed. Did you just have an extra copy? Okay. So yeah, this is perfectly sealed and in really good condition. Have you ever played it? Yeah, it's one of my favorites. The second one is coming out next month, so I might have to replay this one soon. So, Breath of the Wild. Okay, I can give you 20. And in the other Switch games, I don't think. Okay, perfect. So I do want to look at this item. Oh, nice. So this is a steelbook. And it's for Luigi's Mansion 3. And are you trading in the game with it or just the steelbook? And if I recall, does the front glow in the dark? Yeah, that's really cool. So things like this actually do sell pretty well in the store. We have a lot of customers in the area who are collectors, so they'll often come in looking for unique items like this. So I'm gonna actually look on eBay right now and see what it's been going for. So I think I can give you $30. Sound good? And what's the story with this? You just don't want it? Okay. Well, we will definitely sell it quickly here. Appreciate you bringing it in. So you actually have a Sega Genesis game. These don't sell as well in the store, but I think this game is actually one of the more popular ones, so I might take it. Rocket Knight Adventures. I could just tell it actually is in really good condition. You see the game right here, which looks great. And let me take a look at the manual. Yep, no pages are missing. I actually don't remember playing too many Sega games as a kid, mainly just Sonic. Let's see what Rocket Knight goes for. Rocket Knight Adventures. So I can give you 60. Just noticed this one controller. Is this the only controller? Okay. And is this broken? You just don't want it? Okay. I'm gonna test buttons. And when is the last time you tested it? Yeah, none of the buttons are sticking, and I like that it has the case on it, so I think I can probably give you about $20 for this. Perfect. Next I noticed this item. And we do actually sometimes accept items like this, so are you just trying to get rid of it? You used to be a Pokemon fan. Alright. Well, I think we can give this Vulpix a home. So I can probably give you about $3 for it. You'll take it? Okay. So next I'm going to look at your GameCube games. And just 3 of them. Okay. So Tales of Symphonia. This sells every once in a while in the store. A lot of people do come in asking about it. So let's see. You have 2 discs, disc 1, disc 2, and then the manual. I'm just going to take it out. And again, just make sure pages are intact. Yep, looks good. This is actually a game I never played. Did you play it? Yeah, I've heard it's good. I just haven't had time to dedicate to it yet. Tales of Symphonia. So, do $15 for this. Okay. And now you will be happy to know the pricing I can give you for the next 2 games. So, Twilight Princess, amazing game. And let's check it out. Looks like it's in good condition. This game right here. And the manual. And this is another really good Zelda game. Yeah, everything looks good in the manual. So, let's see the pricing. So, Zelda, Twilight Princess. Yeah, I can give you $70 for this game. Yeah, you'll take it. Yeah, I knew you would be happy about that. And now, Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. So this for sure sells out every single time we have it in store. So definitely interested in purchasing. And this is one of my favorite games from childhood. Just gonna take out this. And this looks good. And I love the characters in Paper Mario, of course. They look like they are paper. And I think my favorite thing about the game is the humor and the story. The battle system is also really good. So I think the pricing should be similar to Twilight Princess. I can also give you $70 for this as well. And now the last item I see is a Wii U. Is that correct? Okay. So I'm going to actually start by looking at this part. Now we don't get these in the store too often. And did you have the cords and everything? They're in the box? Okay. Actually set this aside to make some room. Here is the actual handheld part of the Wii U. Did you use this a lot? Not really. Just testing everything out. doesn't seem to be working. Let me look at the Joy-Con. Let's go ahead. Home button, TV button, power button. Alright, perfect. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in this. And check the pricing for just the console. Yeah, I can give you $100. Yeah, pretty good price. And I see you brought in 2 games. Would you happen to have any more at home? Well, I would be extremely interested, as I am trying to actually have a little Wii U section in the store, so feel free to bring them in, especially if you have Twilight Princess. So Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Okay, it's a typical Smash game, and disc is good. I like this blue color. And then we have the manual. Perfect. And then new Super Mario Brothers U. Actually, it looks like you have Super Mario Maker in here as well. Did you want to trade that in too? And do you have the case for it? No? Okay. I'll still accept it. So this looks good. And just look at the price. I can actually give you about $8 for that. So does that sound good? Perfect. Let me just go through everything and add it up and get you your final amount. Alright. So I'm just gonna double check everything. So Fire Red, Pokemon Pinball, Mario RPG, Majora's Mask, Skyrim, Dead Space, Fallen Order, Rocket Knight, the Wii U, Super Smash, Super Mario, the Wii controller, and then we have Ori the Blind Forest, Breath of the Wild, Steelbook, Twilight Princess, Tales of Symphonia, Paper Mario, the Loose Mario Maker, and then the Fall Books. Alright, well, your grand total is $661. So, what are you thinking? You would like to do the trade-in? Wonderful. Well, I am very excited to have all of this. And you said you wanted cash, correct? Okay. Perfect. So I'm just putting this in our system. And then I will get the cash for you. So let me get that now. Let's see. Okay, so here is the $661. You can double check that if you'd like. And you are all set. So is there anything else you need today? Perfect. Well, thanks so much for stopping in. We really appreciate you giving us the business, and feel free to stop by at any time, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Hi, welcome to the game store. How can I help you? Yes, absolutely. Have you been here before? Well, it is so nice to meet you, and thank you for visiting us again. So what brings you in? What are you looking for? PlayStation? Okay, and what console specifically? 1 and 2. Well, perfect timing. We actually just had a trade-in. We have a PlayStation 1, 2, and a selection of games. So would you like me to show you everything? Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to help. And how familiar are you with PlayStation 1 and 2? Okay, so it's been a while. Well, I can refresh your memory for you. Before I get everything though, can you just tell me your name, please? Perfect. And your phone number. Perfect. So I see you do have a rewards account here, and you have purchased things before, so if you were to purchase anything else today, those points would go toward your account. So, alright. So why don't I go grab the consoles and the games, and then I can tell you a little bit about everything. Sound good? Perfect. Well, I will be right back. Alright, so I will show you the PlayStation 1 first. They actually have the controller right here. So here is the console. And this is the PS1 version, so this is not the original that came out. But this one's in great condition, as you can see. It's nice and clean. And we have all the cords for it. And it works perfectly. So on the front here, there are a few scratches, but nothing too crazy. So you have your power and reset button right here. And then this is the button to open it up and insert your disc. And I see we actually do have a game in there right now. So I'll just remove it because this actually is a part of the trade-in, so you could purchase this one if you like. So I'll tell you about that in a little bit. As you can see, good condition inside. And then here is the bottom. That's the PlayStation 1. And here is the controller. So this controller is not in the best condition, but it does work. And we do have some others on the wall over there, if you'd like to take a look at them. Here it is, just plain silver, but like I said, it does work. So let me just click all the buttons for you. Okay, remove piece for you. So they're good, they're not sticking. And these buttons are good as well. So this does come with the PlayStation, it's not sold separately. So you have that. And then it also comes with a memory card, since you would need that to save the games. So next, let me show you PlayStation 2. So it's just this black color. And this isn't the greatest condition, but it's also not terrible. And it does work, it comes with the cords, everything like that. So you can see on the front, you have your memory card slots. And then you actually open it right here. Okay. And like I said, everything is working with this, so you don't have to be concerned about that. So let's move on to the games. But before we do you have any questions? Wonderful. So, why don't I grab the PlayStation 1 games first? So, this is just a selection. We do have several more in store, but these were traded in with the bundle. And I think they're kind of good starter games to have. Since you mentioned you used to have a PlayStation but it got lost, this might be some good ones to have. So why don't I start off with the two loose ones we have here. And if you would be interested in them, I do have a case I can give you. Alright, so Crash Bandicoot. There are several Crash Bandicoot games for PlayStation, and this is the first one. So it's a platformer game, and I will say it's a little challenging at times, but you play as Crash, who is a bandicoot, and your goal is to make it through the levels and ultimately defeat a final boss. And you also have different moves in all of the different games, which is fun. And you can collect different things. So you collect fruit is one of the things. I believe when you reach 100, you get an extra life. And there's many different obstacles throughout the game. Like I said, some are very challenging. But this is the first one, and it's a great game to have in your collection. So, that is Crash Bandicoot. And then this one is Crash Bandicoot Warped. So this is actually one of my favorites. I think the levels are really, really fun. There are different portals that you have to open. I think there were 5 levels in each portal and then a final boss, if I recall correctly. And then a big final boss at the end. But I just think a lot of the levels were really fun. I remember you can play as Coco, Crash's sister, in one of the levels, and ride on the Great Wall of China, I believe it is. And then one of my favorite levels was where you're actually chased by a dinosaur. I remember just loving that when I was younger. So I would recommend picking up both of those if you're interested. Actually, let me just slip them in here. And then, like I said, I will use our disc cleaner for both of these especially, since they are rather dirty. Okay. So next I have another set of games that have the same character. You may have heard of this character before. So, Spyro the Dragon is a 3D platformer. There he is right there. And this is so much fun. I recommend it to pretty much everybody who is looking to buy PlayStation games. There's a lot of fun levels, and Spyro is just a cute character. He has a lot of good moves. You can fly, obviously. You can breathe fire. You have a charging move. And basically in the game, there's different worlds that you can travel to, where you collect dragon eggs and gemstones, and then ultimately beat the main boss. There's just some other characters in the story. So, it's a lot of fun, and this was the first Spyro. And you can actually play these games on Switch now. So if you've done that, don't expect the quality of this game to look like the Switch version. These are obviously much older. So the disc looks great too. And then if you enjoy Spyro the Dragon, you may enjoy Spyro Year of the Dragon. Now this case is cracked, but I can get you another one. It's just a little crack right there. So, Year of the Dragon has better graphics. Similar concept with collecting dragon eggs and gems, but I believe there's a lot more worlds in this game. And I believe in this game you can also play as other characters. Let me wipe the disc down. I also believe there are some mini games in this one. So it's a lot of fun, and you can actually see Crash on the back right there. But if you like fantasy type characters, and if you like the dragon aspect, I would recommend it. And it's not too challenging. Some parts may be a little challenging, but nothing crazy. And here are some of the other characters you can play as. So I would recommend this one as well. So the next game is completely different from what I've showed you so far. And this was surprisingly one of my other favorite games for PlayStation. And it is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So you don't have to be a fan of skateboarding or Tony Hawk to enjoy this game. It's honestly just really fun riding around on a skateboard, doing fun moves, and just having fun. And this game was very popular. It still is today. They just brought a version to Switch, which I know people were excited about. The graphics are not amazing, but this is PS1, so you can expect that. What else? So I remember there were different objectives and kind of missions you could do if you didn't want to just skate around. One thing I remember is you could do something called career mode, I believe it was, where you could, for example, have to collect the letters to spell out the word skate. So that was always fun. And you can see the skaters are listed in here. So you have Tony Hawk, and then several others on the other pages during that time. So, like I said, definitely a fun game to not take too seriously and just have fun. So, next is another very popular game, and I'm sure you've heard of it before. It is Tomb Raider, and there is Lara Croft on the front. She's the main character, and I love this game. It's an action-adventure game, which you can see from the back. You're basically looking for an artifact. There's lots of puzzles. Obviously, you're getting through tombs, collecting different objects, completing all the levels. There's the disc. And for me, I just liked it because I enjoy treasure hunt type games. So I just thought it was really fun, and this is very interesting. So it's fun to see this. That back in the day, you could find these items that you might want to order, and then use this little slip to actually purchase them through the mail. So that's very nostalgic. But this is a fun game. She had some cool moves and just a good action adventure. So that is Tomb Raider. And then one more for PS1. There are so many Resident Evil games. And this is Resident Evil 2. If you don't know what Resident Evil is, it's a survival horror game. You play as Leon, the main character, and you're with Claire in Raccoon City. Basically, there are zombies everywhere. So you have a lot of exploration and puzzles. A lot of combat. And each character has a unique storyline. But I think I just liked it because it's a cool atmosphere, in my opinion. And like I said, there are a lot of Resident Evil games. The most recent being Resident Evil Village that came out a few years ago. So here you go, you can see some of the characters right there. Leon at the top, who I mentioned, and then Claire. Oh, she's the third one. Oh yes, and then Ada Wong and So this is particularly good if you like survival horror games, but if not, then I would skip it. So that's everything for PS1. Why don't I grab everything for PS2 and then we'll get started. Alright, so now we have the PlayStation 2 games. So I guess I'll start off with the 2 RPGs that I have. So I'll start off with Final Fantasy X. So Final Fantasy overall is just a very popular role-playing game. It is turn-based with the battle system. And you play as the main character right here, Tidus. And basically you explore the world. And you explore with a group of fellow adventurers. There's the disc. And you're all trying to save the world. Similar to most games. But all of the Final Fantasy games are very popular because of the beloved stories and characters. I myself am not a huge fan of turn-based games, but many people are. Let's see. Here's some of the characters. And particularly, I do know Final Fantasy X is one of the more popular Final Fantasy games. And the next RPG is Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. So, this Dragon Quest I know was very popular because it had a 3D environment. And again, with this, the battles are turn-based. And your main objective is to break a curse that is throughout the kingdom. And I will say, I never finished this, but I remember the dialogue being really good. And just the characters being really good as well. And Dragon Quest as a whole is, again, very, very popular. So if you are a fan of RPGs, I would pick up both of these. And actually this game comes with an extra memory card, so you would be able to have that for free. Next is one of my favorites again, another Crash game. And this one is The Wrath of Cortex. So there's Crash on the cover with the boss. And this one was really fun too. There were more moves you had. I can't remember exactly all of them. I know you could play more as Coco, his sister. You can see up there you can ride a scooter with her in one level. But the objective is the same: gather crystals, defeat the levels, beat the bosses. The graphics are better though, obviously, compared to PS1. And of course some of the levels are challenging. but just a lot of fun. And let's see, what else do I remember about the Rapid Cortex? So you have the crystals. Just wanted to see what his moves were in this game. Here they are. So that's right. In this game, one of my favorite powers he had was the bazooka. You can see right there. So the fruit that he collected, he was able to shoot through the bazooka at enemies, which I thought was fun. And he had tiptoe, super double jump, death tornado, and crash dash. So I would definitely pick this one up. Lots of fun. So the next game is good if you are a Star Wars fan. Star Wars Battlefront is your typical shooter game. And the object is simple: to eliminate enemy forces. So there are different weapons you can use. I believe you can ride on different vehicles as well. So for example, a speeder bike. And just in general, if you're a Star Wars fan, this is a good one to have. And if you like shooting games, it's also good to have. So that's Star Wars Battlefront, and then you also have the insert for that. And I forgot to mention that all of these games are complete, meaning they have the inserts, with the exception of those two PS1 Crash games. But you could always look for them in the store. Sometimes we'll get trade-ins, so you might be able to find them someday. Tony Hawk's Underground is another fun skateboarding game that I enjoyed. So in this one, you're actually yourself, and you're trying to become a pro skater. Underground is obviously more of an advanced game compared to the original Pro Skater. And I remember in this one you could explore the world on foot, not just with your skateboard, which was kind of cool. There's not many pictures in here, but I promise this is a fun one, especially if you end up liking Pro Skater. So this next game is Simpsons Hit and Run. I am not a Simpsons fan, but I will say I've played this game and another Simpsons game many, many times. So I find this so much fun. It's kind of like a Grand Theft Auto, and basically what you do is drive around town and steal cars, drive recklessly. The game really focuses on exploration and the quests that you can do, or the tasks, missions. And there's different maps you can follow, and you can play as different characters and drive different cars. It was just a lot of fun. Again, one of those games that's not too serious. There's a close-up. Let's see. So you can see, you can really, when I say drive recklessly, you definitely can. You can crash your car, run over pretty much everything. So, if you like that type of thing, I would pick this up. And you have another memory card in here, so you can keep that one as well. So that's it. That's everything I have. What are you thinking? Are you interested, not interested? You are interested. Well, that's very exciting. So here's my thought. Why don't I just drop a price? Like I said, this was a trade-in. Obviously, everything's used. So I think I can give you a fair price compared to our competitor stores. So why don't I get that price for you and meet you back here in a few minutes. Okay. So you said you're interested in everything, correct? So that would be the PS1, the PS2, the one controller, and then let's see how many games. So PS1 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. PS2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and all of the games. So let's see here. I think I can give you a great deal, and I'm going to apply a coupon code. We actually are starting a promotion tomorrow, but since you're a valued customer, I will give it to you today. So you will get 10% off everything. So that being said, I can offer you the entire bundle for $145. And I will say that that is a good price compared to our competitors, like I said. So, how does that sound? Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you agree. So let's get you checked out. So you can pay with cash or card. Card. I can take that. Thank you. Let's see. I'm sure you're excited to get home and play these games. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing better than firing up an old console and just playing a bunch of games all night. So here's your card back. And I'm going to email your receipt. And it looks like you gained 10 reward points in the store. So you can use that toward your next purchase if you'd like. And I'll email you a summary of that as well. And you are all set. I'm going to have my colleague here take these discs back and just give them a good cleaning to make sure they are in pristine condition. And then we will pack everything up for you. Sound good? Good. Well, thank you for coming in again. And please stop back anytime. We're always having trade-ins, new items. You might find something that you're interested in. So keep an eye out for our promotional emails. And if you need anything at all with any of the games or the systems, we do have a 30-day return policy. So you can just stop in and we will take a look. So thanks so much for coming in, and enjoy your PlayStation 1 and 2. I hope to see you again soon. Hi, welcome. Are you here for the Nintendo Switch sale? Oh, great. So, is there anything you're looking for in particular? Okay, so looking to build a collection? Very nice. And have you played the Nintendo Switch before? Okay, so just a little bit with friends. Alright, well, let me tell you a little bit about the sale. And have you shopped with us before? A while ago? Okay. So let's see here. Just want to make sure I give you the correct info. Okay, so everything pre-owned in the store today for the Switch is 30% off. So that's great. And is there any type of game that you're looking for? So some relaxing, some action, just a complete mix. Okay. Can definitely help you. So would you like to browse the store? Would you like me to come with you? Browse, okay. So why don't you take a look around, maybe grab some games that look interesting to you, and then bring them back up here. I can tell you about them and give you some recommendations. And I can also maybe look up some other suggestions I have for you too while you're shopping. Alright? Good. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. I see you found a pretty good stack of games. So I was doing some research for you. Are you interested in just pre-owned games, or would you also be open to purchasing new games as well? You would purchase new as well? Okay, I think I have some suggestions for you then. Let's see here. So I'm going to set my computer aside, and then we can go over some recommendations and look at the games you pulled. Sound good? So first I figured I would show you some of the sealed games we have. And right now we don't have any of these that were pre-owned, so that's why I'm specifically showing you these ones, just in case you might be interested. And let's see here, these are pretty popular titles, so we'll start with this one. And I'll just tell you what they are, and you let me know what you'd like to hear more about. So this is Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. So that's the first one. And next we have Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. And I actually never played this one yet myself, but I am looking forward to hopefully playing soon. We have a Zelda game, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. Okay. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And this is 3 of the older games all put in one for the Switch. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. So that might be a good one to pick up, especially if you don't have the capability to play those games on other systems at home. One of my favorites, Zelda Breath of the Wild. lastly, Mario Kart Deluxe. Always a fun one. So what do you think? Do any of these stand out? Mario Kart 8 and Breath of the Wild? Okay, good choices. So I will tell you a little bit about them and see if you're interested. So we'll start with Mario Kart. Have you played any Mario Kart games before? Yeah, they're so popular. So this one specifically is a Wii U port with a previously released DLC. This game has beautiful updated graphics, obviously better than the older original games. Let's see, I believe there's 48 tracks, so you will not get bored. And this is so fun to play with friends. The controls are very clean, very easy to use. Lots of multiplayer options. And there is a revamped battle mode as well, which is cool. And there's tons of characters you can play as. I think the new ones are a character from Splatoon, and I think also Bowser Jr. So definitely a good one to pick up, especially if you like playing with friends. So that's Mario Kart 8, and then Breath of the Wild. So are you a Zelda fan or know much about Zelda? Okay. So on the cover you'll see Link, the hero, the main character. And it's fine that you haven't played any other Zelda game. You can still play this and have tons of fun. So it's an open world adventure game, and it's beautiful, beautiful graphics. And because it's open world, you can kind of play how you want. So if you want to constantly battle enemies, you can do that. If you want to just complete puzzles and shrines, you can do that. Lots of different ways to play. Tons of side quests, easy controls, a huge map to explore. When I first played this, I think I played for about 8 months, and I didn't get bored. You can gather food items, follow the story, or again, do what you want. It's really a great game for everybody. And it might be good timing to pick this up, because the second one will be coming out next year. So, perfect timing. So, what do you think about those two so far? Definitely interested? Then let me set them aside for you. And let's move on to our pre-owned games that you grabbed. And I can tell you some information about those. So you did choose a lot of games, but it's good that the store isn't busy right now. I can walk you through all of them. So let's just set them aside right here, and we'll go one by one. So let's see. Thinking. Oh yeah, you did pick some really good ones. Guess we'll start from the top and work our way down. So we'll start with Spiritfarer. So Spiritfarer is one of my all-time favorite games. It's super relaxing. So if you need a game to play before bed, this is a good option. So you play as Stella, right there, the main character, and you basically are a ferry master on a boat, and you help animals after they have passed away. You kind of help them move on and complete any journeys that they never completed in life. So it's very emotional in a good way, though. Characters are sweet, and it's not just that. There's actually a very large map, so it is open world. And not only are you taking care of your passengers, but you can also cook, gather supplies, complete quests, so kind of similar to Breath of the Wild. And you can really just explore. I think one of my favorite things, though, is the music. It really is so relaxing. And by the way, I am going to check every game to make sure the discs are inside, okay? So this particular copy comes with some stickers. And these are just all characters in the game. And I see it also comes with some postcards, which is very fitting. It goes with the theme. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I'd like this game when I first played it, and it's definitely in my top 10 favorite Switch games. So, you picked a good one for sure. And next I see you chose Animal Crossing. Have you played an Animal Crossing game before? Okay, so it's been a while. I'm sure you probably remember the concept though. So you move to an island and build up your home and community. You have neighbors to befriend, you collect things, design your home, really do whatever you want. It's very relaxing music as well. It's just a simple game, which is what I like sometimes. I'm trying to see what else. Oh yeah, so with the seasons, the atmosphere in the game will change, so that's pretty neat, especially when there's holidays. When this game first came out, I played way too much, but that was a few years ago, right when everybody started staying home a lot. So, I personally don't play this much anymore, but I think if you start playing, you might become addicted. It's also similar to Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is another cool game I encourage you to check out. And are you looking for other games kind of in that similar type of genre? Relaxing, kind of farming. Okay? Because I do have a game that I wanted to suggest, but I actually don't have a copy. But we are getting a few in tomorrow. So I figured I could show it to you actually on my Switch. I was actually just playing it on my break. So let me show you. And just so you know too, we do have both of these Switches in stock right now, if you'd like to purchase any. But I'm assuming you already have one. Okay. So my other recommendation was going to be Stardew Valley. So let me just show you. Here is the game. There's me. And let me turn it down. You are basically on a farm that you inherited. And you can move around, have animals. There's my little area of animals. And this is just a snippet of the whole area, but it's very relaxing. Like I said, And all of the characters have really fun personalities. And I think my favorite thing about that game is that it was made by one developer, which is crazy. So you will be very impressed when you play. Why don't I show you Dreamlight Valley too while we're at it? Let me bring it up. So in Dreamlight Valley, it's kind of similar to Animal Crossing, except you are in a Disney paradise. So I'm just going to move this around. Whoops. You can see a castle behind you, and you can basically build the entire island to your liking. Complete missions and befriend all the Disney characters. There's so much fun dialogue and just lots to do, so again, another recommendation for you. So next, I see you chose Luigi's Mansion 3. So this game is a ton of fun. You play as Luigi, of course, and you get stuck in a haunted hotel, and you have to save your friends. Of course, that includes Mario. So you explore the hotel, suck up ghosts, and you actually use your friend, Gooigi, made out of green goo, to help you complete some tasks. So you basically play through every floor of the hotel, and it really is a lot of fun. And since it's almost the Halloween season, I wanted to show you, we also have this, if you're interested. This is called a steelbook. And it's basically a hardcover version of a Switch case. The cool thing about this one is it glows in the dark. And you can keep your game right inside. It's a nice collectible item. So I'll set this aside. And see, you picked up a Yoshi game. Yoshi's Crafted World. So this is definitely a family-friendly, lighthearted game. And it's kind of like action platforming. You collect things, complete each level. You can play multiplayer. And everything is crafted. So you can see a lot of paper items, and it's a pretty cool concept. And it's actually pretty relaxing too, especially on the beginner level, so good choice with Yoshi. And then another popular character, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. So Donkey Kong is always challenging for me, but they're so popular. And it's a fun game. This one specifically has really pretty graphics. I mean, especially compared to the originals. And you can play in funky mode, it's called. You can see up here. Makes the game a little bit easier. Not completely easier, but a little bit. And it's your typical style of Donkey Kong game, so it is a lot of fun, especially if you like challenges. And I see you grabbed 2 Pokemon games. So you picked up Sword and Shield. And are you a Pokemon fan? So am I. Pokemon Red for Game Boy is one of the first games I was addicted to, so I will forever be a Pokemon fan. So the concept is like other Pokemon games, where you defeat gym leaders, collect badges, course collect Pokemon, and there's a lot of new features. I think that honestly I enjoyed these a little bit more than Let's Go Pikachu, if you played that one, because again there were new features. And I'm not specifically familiar with the newer Pokemon. I'm kind of a classic girl since I grew up with the original, but I still had fun with these. So I would choose one of these, or both, if you want to collect. Alright, so next, I guess we will choose this one. And this is BioShock, the collection. So BioShock is 3 games, and they're not originally for the Switch, but this is cool to pick up since all 3 games are included in this. You can see the cover is really nice. And they're centered in dystopian societies. So you have BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remastered, and then BioShock Infinite. So all 3 games in the franchise, plus a DLC. The biggest thing I can tell you about this is the story is so good. And I'm not going to spoil anything or go too much into it, but it's definitely worth playing, worth having in your collection. So, good choice. And another good choice, Hollow Knight. And you grab this at the perfect time, because they're making a second Hollow Knight too. So Hollow Knight is a 2D side-scroller. The cover is actually really pretty. It takes place in an underground kingdom of bugs, basically. And it's a challenging game. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's actually kind of considered to be similar to Dark Souls, if you've ever played those games, which are very challenging. And the bosses are also very hard. So if you like a challenge, this game is for you. It was made by a very small team of developers, which again always impresses me because this game is so good. The music is beautiful, and honestly the beginning of the game is kind of relaxing to me before it gets challenging. Lots of detail, lots to do. And this is kind of neat because it actually comes with an instruction manual, which you don't really see in Switch games. So, it shows you the moves. Let's see what else. Talks to you about items you pick up, the different characters. Here's some of them. So that's nice. I actually don't remember what this is, so let's see together. Looks like it's a letter. Thinking it's probably a cool poster. And it is. So this is perfect actually. I can show you. This is the map. So it's pretty big. very detailed. And this would be really cool to frame, actually, if you become a fan of the game. So I'll leave this in here. It was nice that somebody traded this in and left these items. So that's definitely a good one to pick up. And now 2 games left. And I see they're both Sauda games. Have you played either of these? The originals? Alright, so then I will just give you a short overview to trigger your memory. So Link's Awakening is an action-adventure game. And there's the front. And it's kind of like a typical Zelda game. And here's the back. You can see little Link. And this is a different style compared to Breath of the Wild. And this game was originally on Game Boy, I believe. I didn't play the original myself, but I know a lot of people who did, so good to have on Switch if you don't have the original one. So I'll set this over here. And then a Skyward Sword. So there was a lot of controversy with the first Skyward Sword, but this is the Switch version. So a little bit of upgraded graphics, and the controls are much better in my opinion. The original version's controls were kind of challenging to use. So you have crisp graphics. I really enjoyed the story and everything that you get to do. There's Link. The Master Sword, right there. You have to save Zelda, which is typical for most Zelda games. Here's the back. You do a lot of flying, as you can see up there. And some bosses were actually challenging. I can't remember the name of the one, but it gave me a lot of difficulty. I actually had to keep looking up how to beat him on YouTube, so definitely a good one if you're trying to have a little Zelda collection. So what are you thinking? Let's recap all of your games here. So I'll move this aside. And are you thinking of picking up all of these games? Yeah, okay. So all of these, and then what about the 2 new games, Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart? These as well? Alright, so let me just look up all the prices for you and maybe even get you a good deal on all of these. Sound good? Perfect. Breath of the Wild, which is new. And when I say new, I don't mean a new game, I just mean sealed and not pre-owned. And then Mario Kart 8. And did you want to do both Pokemon or just one? Both? Alright, so then we have, let's see here. Let's count these off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pre-owned games. And were you interested in seeing any of the other games that we have in stock that are popular? Maybe another time. So 11 games pre-owned, 2 new. Those are all 30% off. So I am going to say, with the deal that we're having, I'm going to sell you all of this for $150. Good. That is quite a deal for 13 games. So I'm going to have my colleague here bag the games up for you, and she will also check you out. Alright? And you can pay with cash or card, whatever works for you. I think you did have a few points in the system last time I checked, so you'll definitely be getting more after your purchase today. Alright, so now you have a nice Switch collection, and you will be playing for hours and hours and have so much fun. Feel free to come back in if you need more games or if you have any problems with the pre-owned ones, okay? We do have a 30-day return policy. And I hope you just have fun. The Nintendo Switch has tons and tons of titles, so many good games, and whether you're just playing to have fun with friends or have a stress reliever at the end of the day, video games are such a fun escape. So enjoy, and I hope to see you back in the shop soon.